Harvard just received one of the UN's top executives on campus where she declared, I'm not kidding, Hamas has not demonstrated any animosity towards the Jews. She really said this yesterday. We've talked about Harvard a lot. There's a new controversy there. There's a lady named Francesca Albanese. She is a UN official who hates Jews and hates Israel. She has said some horrible things to Harvard. At Harvard in speeches. Comes up from New York to go to Boston to speak. So instead of correcting her, they invited her back. She was there 2 days after her last speech, drew international condemnation, where she said, this was her speech a couple days ago. The Hamas October 7th attack that Macron said was the greatest anti-Semitic massacre of the century, meaning it was horrible, the president of France. She comes to Harvard and says, well, they were all killed because they oppress the Gazans. Keep in mind, there hasn't been a Jew in Gaza since 2016. Not a Jew, dead or alive. They dug up the dead and pulled them out of the cemeteries. Mm-hmm. But she said that France did nothing to prevent the massacre, and they could have, because of the oppression of the people living in Gaza by the French, by the Israelis, and so on. And this woman is one of the heads of the UN. What do you make of it? And then, to make matters worse, Harvard, after all this scrutiny, after all the times you and I have talked about it, invites her back yesterday.
I got a strange feeling that you're not surprised by this at all.
But I am disgusted.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're disgusted about it, but we're not surprised by it at all. And this is, I think they're putting pressure. I think that's probably where the pressure is coming from the United Nations to Joe Biden to go speak at the United Nations, to point his finger at Israel and tell Israel to stop, to cut it out, ceasefire now, to appease all of the people in this country, all of the squad members and the squad lackeys, to do a ceasefire when they don't have a say-so in it at all. Nothing. It's like me going to Israel, Barry, and telling them to do a ceasefire. They will look at me and say, and who are you? Why should we listen to you? They need to treat Joe Biden the same way. Who are you? Why do we need to listen to you? You're the one who has put us in this situation in the first place. I wonder if Benjamin Netanyahu knows that. I wonder. I would love to have a sit-down interview with him and say, do you know that Joe Biden helped expedite the situation? Did it ever come across your desk?
I'm sure.
I would really love to know.
They're translating everything every day, Will. They have to.
I want to hear it from him. I want to hear from him. And I know he's being really politically correct, being real diplomatic, and shaking Joe Biden's hands and, trying to get along. But this is the devil that set him up.
Yeah, don't forget, Biden called him an asshole last week. It's been reported everywhere.
Really? I missed that.
Called him an asshole. Absolutely.
Really?
I want to add.
Wait a minute. Wait. I'm sorry. Really quick. I'm sorry, Barry. I got it because I didn't hear about this. He called Benjamin Netanyahu. What was his reasoning? Because he won't stop going after the terrorists? So what gives him the right to call him that and tell him to stop going after terrorists when the United States of America went into Afghanistan, went into Iraq, went into other places to get terrorists? And some of these terrorists didn't have anything to do with the United States of America. No one told them to stop.
I can give you the simple adage, do as I say, not as I do.
That's hypocritical. That's wild.
Motto, don't you think?
Yeah, that's wild.
I'll tell you what to do. Just don't follow what I'm doing because it'll get you into trouble. I want to read you one more quote from this crazy letter, Albanese. She said, this was yesterday at Harvard, there is no evidence. I want you to hear this. I'll say it slowly so our audience resonates with it. There's no evidence that Hamas's leaders exhibit any aggression against the Jews.
Yeah, now I know why you said it slow.
She's the dumbest person you have ever heard in the United Nations.
But Barry, is all over social media. They're saying the exact same thing. They're calling Hamas freedom fighters. I mean, they're really calling them freedom fighters. They're acting like Hamas. They're the good guys in all of this. And of course, Israel, they're the oppressors. Israel they're doing genocide, but it's always slipping their minds how they got to this point. It's always slipping their minds.
Well, that's our job, brother. Remind people about the truth. I think it's important on a daily basis, if we have to say it over and over and over again when you have a nutcase like this saying Hamas has not shown any violence towards the Jews. Oh, my goodness. And her name, just so you don't forget, Francesca Albanese. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. That's what I'm constantly saying, that the United Nations is the anti-Israel United Nations. They're anti-Israel. They know what's happening. What's the organization? UNRWA?
UNRWA.
Is that what it's called? UNRWA?
United Nations Relief Works Agency. Yeah.
Yeah. And now they're trying to say that UNRWA is innocent in all of it. They're actually doing good work. None of them were involved on October 7th. Not a single one of them, Barry.
We've got dozens of videos showing UNRWA workers taking the hostages, supporting the terrorists, doing the videos, keeping the captives, keeping the medicine away from the captives. Oh, yeah, they're totally involved in it. 100% up to their necks.